Luck good, have fun. Thank you, Firebat. Same to you. Have you some fun. Ah, I see. There we go. Race will begin. In 3, 2, 1, go! $3,360. Ooh. Dang. Not gonna ask. What's that other game on Steam I need to reinstall? I think it's just called Dark Quest. Where it's basically just a video game version of the old board game Hero Quest. Even has like the exact same logo. I remember one of the reviews for Dark Quest says, "Hey, I remember this board game." I actually just pulled that board game out of the little stack of board games that I have recently when my dad was in town. Because I was showing him how detailed all the little figurines are. And I was thinking at some point I might actually want to get like some model paint from the little hobby store that's down the street from me and give some of these pieces a custom paint job. But on the other hand, it's not a game that I play at all because it's a board game that requires another person. does make me wonder if there's something similar to that on, like, Tabletop Simulator. Spin jump, please. Thank you. No. It's little errors like that where I don't spin jump when I want, or I think that I landed something, and so my hands just go about doing the next action before I realize that, oh no, I missed that. It's little things like that just stacked up all over the course of my run. It keeps me from getting lower times. He ate that third one. And he ate one of them there. It's starting to feel like I'm doing something wrong on that wall jump for Alcatraz. But then again, I've never really been that good at that trick, so I've always just had the mindset of yeah, it's not that important because of how much of the game there is after it. There's so many other ways for me to save time besides just consistently hitting Alcatraz. In addition to that random Steam stream that I've been thinking about doing just lately, I'm also kind of thinking about going through my collection and seeing how many video games I have that feature ducks. Because I have a lot of video games that feature ducks. I don't know if it's the most commonly seen animal in my video game collection, but it could be. With Untitled Goose Game count. Uh, it's... That one's right on the fence. But I think if I included that one, I'd have to include... Jokingly. If I included Untitled Goose Game, I'd probably have to include Minecraft. Just because those chickens in Minecraft are so commonly referred to as ducks. I mean, maybe, like, for Stardew Valley, for example, maybe I'd have to, like, play the game until I'm able to purchase a duck? Or I could just cheat and give myself a farm full of ducks and just play through for, you know, an hour or so. Oh, I thought I missed that. I could play through Super Metroid with my custom Duck Game skin that's still not completed. Because I don't know how to animate that little guy. Now, if I were to actually play Duck Game on stream, I would need a second player. Because the one-player content in Duck Game is not very fun to me. It's just a bunch of challenge stuff. Board the platforms, hit the targets, that kind of stuff. And that's not really what Duck Game is all about. I missed the third one. Ah. Open up. Did... Did my color change? I don't think my color changed that much. Maybe it'd be a thing where it's like, you have to play the game until you find the duck that's in the game. But for something like Blazing Beaks, that wouldn't work because your playable character is a duck. Probably have to do some more thinking about that one. It's another excuse for me to play DuckTales again, I guess. And as long as I don't have to play through the full game, maybe DuckTales Remastered might be fun. It's been a while since I played through the majority of that game. But the final boss and escape section after the final boss have made me very upset in recent history. Duck Hunt. Oh, dude, the slow-mo guys on YouTube actually did a video not that long ago about how the NES Zapper works. It's a real interesting watch. I don't remember the details, but that is mostly due to the fact that I have had a beer since then. I mean, even the videos the slow-mo guys did on like how CRT TVs work was really interesting. Does the hard a beer since then for you? Yeah, I think Spacer Crab's the drunk one now. It took a while for this song to come up, so that means we've got at least a couple other people requesting songs on Rainwave tonight. Which means I won't run through my playlist in 45 minutes. Probably takes less than that, but whatever. Maybe for Duck Game, I could just load up an old video that, like, you know, was where it was my brother and I playing. Because we still had plenty of goofy-ass highlights from when we played. Mostly involving throwing the other player off of the screen and out of bounds during the trophy ceremony. Or just show that clip from the Team Poor Life Choice-a-thon. The infamous "Help, I'm fat." Because just describing that clip with words doesn't do it justice. I've said it before in the past. Team Poor Life Choices has been responsible for a lot of the hardest laughter I've ever had in my life. I've just laughed myself into tears for minutes on end from watching some of their stuff. And once again, that is PJ DeCaesar, Murphigator, Clage, and Mecha Richter here on Twitch. Clage is probably streaming right now, because he usually does an SMZ3 run on Fridays. PJ might be streaming right now. If he is, he's probably streaming, was it Legend of Dragoon? Because I think he got done with Crystal Project. And I don't know if Murph is streaming right now, mostly because I'm not accustomed to all the times when he streams. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got a screenshot of it on my Discord when I was talking about Murph's Belt Scroller Academy streams. He's showcasing uh, a bunch of different beat 'em up games. But he's got a VTuber model that I am a fan of because it looks like a character from a beat 'em up game where he's got like the big pompadour, he's got like the not necessarily a sports jacket, that makes me think of a suit, like a track top. There we go. And like fingerless gloves and jeans and sneakers. Clage, on the other hand, has a VTuber model that I think is supposed to be his character from Final Fantasy XIV. That is just big titty anime girl. Play track top, start living. Fingerless gloves takes care. But yeah, those four guys used to do a lot of four-player co-op stuff on stream. One particular highlight was the four of them played through Ninja Baseball Batman at a GDQ years ago, which was a lot of fun. Ninja Baseball Batman is such a cool arcade game. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a version of MAME on my Wii, or even on my other Wii, that can run that game. I can probably run it on a PC version of MAME. But then again, I already have a playthrough of that game on my channel, my YouTube channel from a couple years ago. Ninja Baseball Batman proves that Irem was one of the best when it comes to arcade-style beat-em-ups. Best crabs! And I shot the guy, he's down here with me. Okay. My biplane out. Asked my parents for some gloves to keep my hands warm while driving. They got me fingerless gloves. Whoops. Oh, scrolled right past it. Funk. I'm trying to think of what exclamation crabs would even be. Oh, it's the fucking Star Song. Come on, stupid ghost. Oh, he's coming in from a weird angle. I might hit him too early. Yeah, I hit him too early with one. It's okay. We can still do something with this. his eye too quick. He might be coming in too fast, is what I would say if I didn't believe. I just need to hit him with some missiles, maybe just a big boy shot at this point. I think a volley of missiles should be able to get it. But we need him to show back up. Yeah, I think as far as like a mini marathon of Steam games, like what I've been thinking about, I think I just need to make myself a list. The only question is, how big is that list going to be, and for how long am I going to play each game? But then on the other hand, if I'm going to be taking the time and energy to make a list of multiple games for some kind of a mini marathon, I could just take that time and energy and invest it into getting back to Disaster Report 4. Especially if my hours are going to be getting cut a little bit at work, as my company often likes to do during the holidays. But then there's always, my decision of whether or not I decide to listen to that and just work my hours anyways. Nice attic spark. Yeah, I recently looked at a walkthrough for Disaster Report 4, and I was thinking that I was like halfway through the game. Oh no. I think I'm like a chapter or two before the halfway point, so I've still got a decent amount of that game left to play. It's just these game projects always end up taking me a lot longer than I initially think that they will, because I end up getting distracted by so many other things. Once again, this is the reason why I don't do this as a job. I've got kind of the Mickey Mouse colors now. Except it's more of a green instead of yellow. He's got the little red pants. Hell yeah, 26%. Somewhere out there, people still try to figure out how to get out of that city. Like, I still think that game is a lot of fun. It's just, I haven't felt like I've had the time to devote to it lately. And only part of that is due to outside distractions. A lot of it has just been I've come home from work and I've just not felt like doing anything. You know, sometimes that happens when your job entails you walking over 10,000 steps every single day that you work. It has gotten better lately, though. I'll say that much. Because I'm someone that prefers the mid shift, which is like 10 to 6. You know, there'd be a chunk of the day, like from noon to 3 p.m., where I just had no backup. You know, I was like the only person out there. And maybe I'd have another one or two people working in some part of the store. But now we've got the crew that used to come in at 3 coming in at noon, which is really nice. But until a manager just pulls me aside and says, hey, we need you to actually work the hours we have scheduled for you and not, you know, this other shift that you've been working, then I'm just going to keep doing it. The other funny thing is, because of me coming in as a mid-shift worker, I'm never really around for any of the employee meetings. So, like, 9 times out of 10, my managers just leave me the fuck alone. Which is really nice. I get to just come in and do my own thing. Not sure how that missile didn't hit him. I know how that one didn't hit him. Okay. There we go. Like, honestly, this job that I've had for the past couple of years, I really cannot complain about too much. Because, I mean, years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, one of my managers told me that they really appreciate the fact that they don't have to try to keep me on task. They don't have to try to come up with things for me to do. Because I've been around long enough and I know what's expected of me. Ah, damn it. Didn't get up there high enough on the last jump. Although ever since we've gotten some newer managers in place, they sometimes feel like they have to justify their position. Yeah, exactly. Like, I like for the interaction between me and my managers to be like, you know, they call me up on the walkie and be like, hey, we need you to help out in this area. Oh, okay. And then that's it. Every other time I talk to them is them saying to me, thank you, we appreciate you. When the only interaction that you have with your superiors is them saying, thank you, we appreciate you, you know you're doing something right. And with the schedule I've been working, it's a lot more difficult for me to get burned out. You know, when they're scheduling you like 4 days, 5 days in a row, yeah, burnout happens on almost a weekly basis. But when it's only like 2 or 3 days in a row, a lot more easily managed. Like, on one hand, I feel like there was a lot of humorous banter that I would come up with in order to vent my frustration about my job. But I really haven't had much frustration at all in terms of my job over the past couple of years, so I usually don't talk about it. The only really frustrating thing about my job is the number of dumb people that I have to interact with. But that's because I work in retail. So there's going to be lots of dumb, entitled people that come through my store every single day. Which I'm not sure how you can have a sense of entitlement when you can't even be asked to fucking read a sign that's on the wall. But that's just me. I know better. I know better than to expect the general public to read. And the public is always a thing. And a lot of it, I understand that a lot of it is because I don't like large crowds of people. And I don't like having to navigate my way through large crowds of people. Like, that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I haven't gone to a concert in so long. Even before the pandemic. Because, I mean, that was the big thing that made me not want to go to concerts. The other thing is, a lot of the bands that I want to see either broke up, someone died, or they're not an American band, so they don't tour America on any kind of regular basis, and if they do, they just hit big cities. And not even like big cities like Chicago, which are within driving distance. Probably get one of our local event magazines. Has a big listing of concerts in the nearby areas. Might be fun just to see if anyone I would want to see in concert is going to be there. And that reminds me, I actually pulled out my collection of ticket stubs that I saved from a lot of the concerts that I went to years and years ago. I guess it should probably make me feel old that like the majority of the concerts that I went to were like 20 years ago. Like the early, well, actually just the 2000s in general. So I started going to concerts in like 2003, 2004. And like 05, 06, 07, 08, I went to a whole bunch. Then it just kind of became a thing of, well, who haven't I seen in concert that I really want to see? You know, I was also lucky enough to go to a couple shows before critical members of that particular band died. Got to see Damage Plan before, like earlier in the year, before Dimebag Darrell got shot. I got to see Lemmy from Motorhead a couple years before he died. Got to see Children of Bodom before their lead singer died. Saw Slayer multiple times before before one of their guitar players died just recently. But that's been the other thing that's just been depressing, is I go to look up what a certain band is up to, and it's like, oh, their singer died. Oh, their guitar player died. Oh, shit, this, man. And then it becomes not fun. It's just like, fuck, dude, everyone's ending up dead. And I know it happens, but still. Oh yeah, I got to see Static X before Wayne Static died. That's another one. I've mentioned that concert on stream before. Scariest mosh pit I've ever been in my life. Got hit in the head with a giant trash can. But yeah, there were a bunch of ticket stubs that I pulled out of my collection just to look at. And I was like, wait a minute, when the hell did I see this band? There were a number of shows from like the Chicago or Cleveland areas that I had just completely forgotten about. I think I was looking for a ticket stub from when I went to go see the Blue Man Group, because I couldn't remember where it was when I couldn't remember where it was that I saw them. Yeah, you are not dead yet. Might be dead now. There we go. And I think the answer that my dad and I came up with for where we saw the Blue Man Group was, I think, at Butler University, at one of their event halls. I thought it was in Muncie, like at the Ball State campus. But I'm pretty sure that's where I saw Weird Al Yankovic. Which, by the way, Weird Al puts on a good show. Yeah, and fucking Blue Man Group, their concerts are just kind of hard to describe. Because they've got like comedy skits, they've got music, they've got art demonstrations. So I definitely understand why they were as big of a thing as they were for a while. Because it's one of the most unique concert experiences you can have. Yeah, I kind of wish I would have gone to see Weird Al when he was doing that tour where all he was playing was just like his original songs. Like he wasn't playing any covers, like any of his parody covers. He was just doing his original stuff. And that would have been fucking awesome. Because one of my favorite songs by Weird Al is an original song. It's a Hardware Store. I haven't seen the Weird Al movie yet. I do plan on seeing it at some point, but haven't seen it yet. I've seen the other Weird Al movie, UHF. Does that count? UHF is fucking hilarious. I've also seen the riff tracks that Weird Al did with Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater on Jurassic Park. Hearing Weird Al Yankovic make jokes at the expense of Jurassic Park for its runtime is pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find a way to see that movie. Because at least for a while, it was only available on streaming platforms. And I don't have any of that stuff. And there's Firebat finishing in first with a 48-32. GG. Yeah, I'm thinking I just need to find a way to watch it that doesn't involve paying someone, to be quite blunt about it. Unless it gets a physical release at some point. Like, if it gets put onto DVD, then I'm sure I'll find it at some point. It's actually the same thing I was kind of worried about with a lot of the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus. It's like, oh man, I really want them to do a physical release of this so I don't have to pay for this shit. Just have to pay for the DVD and that's it. Roku is just a one-time expense though? Might have to look into it. Yeah, I also hate subscriptions. This is why I don't play MMOs, because I hate subscriptions. Shouldn't say I hate MMOs. Actually, that's why I said I don't play MMOs. The only MMOs I ever did spend a whole lot of time with were free to play. Like, there was that one time I played Fallout 76 for a couple hours because they were on a free weekend. And I definitely know that there's a way to play up into a certain point in Final Fantasy XIV without paying for it. But then again, it's Final Fantasy XIV, and I would probably have a much better time with that game if I played it with people. But at the same time, I also get the feeling that FF14 is like so far removed from things that I'm familiar with that it's just reading dialogue in that game would just make no sense. That's why I've always thought of like DC Universe Online as my favorite MMO. Because I'm familiar with a lot of these characters, and it's just going on adventures in those environments and with these characters. And that's what's more fun to me. As opposed to Final Fantasy XIV, which just feels like it's completely fucking alien. Like, it's a pretty game, but a lot of it just does feel completely alien to me. Saying that as there's a giant brain-sucking alien on the screen. And, I mean, if I'm completely honest, the thing I've spent the most time with in DC Universe Online is the character creator. Just having dumb fun coming up with different fictional superheroes and supervillains. All of which I have pictures of on my Discord. And, like I've said in the past, it's the only MMO that I've ever actually spent money on. And that was just so that I could have the Green Lantern power set. Which the funny thing is about buying the Green Lantern power set, you don't get any cosmetic options that would give your character like the Green Lantern symbol. Like you'd think if you bought the superpower pack to give your character Green Lantern or Yellow Lantern powers, that you would get those specific logos that those characters in the comics all have on their chest. Either the Green Lantern logo or the Yellow Lantern Sinestro Corps logo. But no. At no point do you have those as a cosmetic option, which I thought was very strange at first. Until I was creating my own Green Lantern character and trying to figure out, okay, what's the backstory? What would be the reason for him not having that logo? And I figured, okay, maybe he was disgraced somehow, now has to wear like a skull logo on his chest. Time. With my main character, my main villain character that I played through, that was the Yellow Lantern, that was not even a concern of mine, mostly because of the way her outfit looked. 5630. It's gonna be like a 5840 something. And I've shared pictures of that character on my Discord as well. I'm not apologetic about putting one of my main characters in a skimpy outfit. Always been of the opinion that if I'm gonna play this game, I at least want something nice to look at every once in a while. She's a lot like the 80s version of Storm from Marvel, just she shows more skin. Bonk. I really don't think that DCUO is a game I can stream. I think it's a little bit too big. My laptop won't have a fun time. Not done. 5841. That counts as a 5840 something. GG. You customize heroes, I expect you would want to change colors, but as the Green Lantern, it's a bit different. Yeah. At that point, it's like trying to get an outfit that looks like it lines up with itself. You know, what top piece and what bottom piece can I put together with and without a belt that makes it actually look like a comic outfit? Because, I mean, it's super easy to just make a character that just looks like the Punisher. You know, fucking combat cargo pants, boots, shirt. Welcome to GG Country. It's real easy to make like a street thug looking character in that game. But I've always wanted to make old, like, for lack of a better term, like 60s and 70s style comic characters. Hey, it's alright, Firebat. The other thing in DCUO that's kind of nice is you can decide like which armor pieces that you pick up you want to have visible on your player model. So you can have like some big spiky shoulder pads and some big spiky wrist gauntlets and some big crazy looking boots. But never got too carried away with that. Like the first character I made, it's a Frozen Spectre. Like he totally looks like a character from the comics. Like what's that one Flash villain? Captain Cold, I think. My guy looks a lot like him, just with a big old cape. Air Force! I think all my DCUO stuff is buried in this mountain of pictures that all have screenshot at the beginning of the title. Or not? Right, they're somewhere else then. Again, they're also all on my Discord. Alright, get me out of there. Good Crocomire time again. Consistent. That's right. Which does remind me, I found a version of Crocomire that works in Mugen that's counted as like a mini boss or a I forget the word they use for it. A mini game, I guess. And he's humongous. It's so silly. He's easily twice as big as he is in Super Metroid when compared to relative screen size and comparisons with other characters. All right. Thanks for the race. Close out of that. Okay. Oh wow, I barely got into my request line. Fourth in line. Nice. All right. What now? All the Daffy Duck games. I mean, the only one I have is the Marvin missions. Which, believe it or not, is not a bad video game. The music in this game is not very good. I'll say that much. I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to play. I'm hoping that it's got a demo reel. But I have never really liked any of the Looney Tunes games except for Daffy Duck and the Marvin missions. Always thought that like the Speedy Gonzales game was just like a really bad Sonic clone. Never really understood the Roadrunner game. And I really disliked Rabbit Rampage with Bugs Bunny. Like the hit detection in that game makes no sense to me. Now, the Tiny Toon video games, the Tiny Toon Adventures video games, the ones that aren't just compilations of mini-games, so like the first Tiny Toons game on NES or Buster Busts Loose on Super Nintendo, I love those games. Like, what was it, Crazy Castle? Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle? I was not a fan of that. Mostly because I played it once as a kid, had next to no idea what I was doing, and kept dying. Was it Buster's Birthday Blowout? Was that on Super Nintendo? I mean, the only one I have is Buster Bust Loose in the main folder here. Oh, Bugs Bunny. Then, yeah, then probably not. Do I have that other folder in here? I do. Oh god, the Animaniacs game. I did not understand that one either. Saw a couple things in here already that I'm not going to click on. Like Tiny Toons Sports was the second Tiny Toons game on the Super Nintendo, if I'm thinking right. And just like on the NES, the second Tiny Toons game is always just like a compilation of mini games. I mean, you've got big, pretty sprites. And then, Babs's Big Break on the Game Boy might be my favorite out of the three Tiny Toons games that I really like. Just because you had the ability to switch between Buster, Plucky, Hampton, and maybe that was it, but just that you had some amount of variety with the play style. It's something I always appreciated as a kid. Let's check my NES collection. I think I remember hacking up my NES collection a little bit. Yeah, I think I got rid of that one folder that just had all of the games in it. Yeah, not seeing Bugs or Looney Tunes or Daffy or anything like that. And there's Tiny Toons. Let me just make sure that Trouble in Wacky Land was actually the game I'm thinking of. Oh no, this is definitely the game I was thinking of. pretty sure that this was the only one of these that actually worked. It's one of the super rare occasions of a modern game actually being improved by having it ported to the NES. This was a relatively modern PC game that just had the look and style of like an old Atari game. So this version of the game is very much a graphical improvement over the original. Nope, he can touch me. Oh, this one actually works. Oh boy. Pizza. Jump on? No? Okay. Just can't kill enemies in this game. Okay, some enemies you can jump on. But not when they're actively running around. Alright, get me out of here. This one doesn't work, right? No, that one does not work. I didn't mean to click on that again. I can't do anything with that one. And there's a bunch of stuff in here that I can't click on either. What is up with these Mario hacks where I can't do anything? This is in here. This is Donald Land is a deceptively good video game. I think it's deceptively good because you actually have to be good at it for it to be a good game. Otherwise, it might be a little bit too difficult. Not sure what all the screen flashing is about. I don't remember that from the other version I've got. "101 Contra Function 16. Oh god, it actually runs. Well. Select 81 to 100 game. Oh, baby. That's what they're talking about. Okay. Okay, I can back up. King Kong 4? Is that just Donkey Kong? Yes, that's just Donkey Kong. Didn't really want to back all the way out, though. Contra 1 through 4. Everybody remembers Contra 3 and 4 on the NES. That's just this game again. That was the really unfortunate thing with a lot of these multi-game packs, is they would just have the same game over and over and over again. Just like, oh, maybe you start on this level instead of this level. Contra 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, 100 versions of Donkey Kong. Where everything has been slightly changed. So this was Contra 8. I have 31 lives. And I start with the laser. It's like my movement different? No? Okay. I'll just reset. If we go to Contra 7, it's still just Contra. I still have 31 lives. And now I start with the spread gun. And I still end up dead in the first level. Because I suck at Contra. About 41 through 60. Contra 9, 10, and 11. Fancy Brothers. About Bomberman 4. Well, that just looks like Bomberman. This is just Bomberman. I can walk through walls. Well, that's kind of neat. I get to do stuff like that. Actually, what other multi-game packs do I have? 11 and 1 ball games. Soccer ball, volleyball, baseball, lunar ball, bowl ball, paddle, tennis, golf ball, pinball, F-yard fight, fjard fight, 1M game. Ball games will be for you what you want it to be. Oh god. Will be for you what you want it to be. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, what's baseball? It's baseball. What's the full name of this game? I forget. 10-yard fight. 1M game turns into double dribble. day without what's baseball? It's like a day without sunshine. Enjoyable horse racing 1991. No thank you. 260 and 1. Invalid file size. 54 and 1. Oh yeah, here we go. Around the World 2. Oh boy. This doesn't look like complete shit. I seem to have Mario boots. Maybe that's... I think I've been picking up shoes this whole time. Because now I'm fast. There's like this weird wall collision when I'm jumping. Tank 2? Yep, it's Battle City and it instantly crashes. Oh no, wait, that's good. Maybe? Yeah, this is just Battle City. One of the national video games of Russia. They really liked Battle City and Battletoads and Double Dragon. Probably because they're two of the only games that function as intended on their Dendy system. There's obviously more here. A lot of this, again, is just the exact same game over and over again. That's right. 68 and 1. It's a lot of Kung Fu and Excite Bike and Circus Charlie. Load Runner. Nine and 1 Ninja Cat. Oh boy. It's just Samurai Pizza Cats. Yes, this is just Samurai Pizza Cats. This is an actual game. I think it's a Japanese game. You know, still an actual game. What is Ninja Cat 2? It's the exact same game. Only now I think it starts me on stage 2. Yep. So it just starts you at later and later levels of the game. Color 2001 Street Fighter 2. Thank God it doesn't work. Demo Boy 2. Oh God. Brain Series 12 and 1. King of Fighter 98. Magic Jewelry, Tetris 2, Chinese Chess, Dr. Mario. I'm assuming that's Taiwan Mahjong. Oh, it has Flip Pull on here. And this is actually Flip Pull. I know this game. I don't think I remember how to play it, but Miss. Again, I'm not sure that I remember how to play this, but this is actually a video game. Oh, I broke the title screen by resetting. I think I need to just reload the whole thing. Regardless of knowing how to play it, you are playing it. That's right. Super Mario 2. This is a ROM hack of Mario 1. I'm a ninja. Goombas are wearing top hats. I don't know what these brick blocks are supposed to be. Those are very suspicious looking coins. No idea what those blocks are supposed to be. Alright, what's King of Fighter 1998? Or just 98? It's neat looking. Break a spine. Oh my god. What is this a ROM hack of? Because there was no King of Fighters game on the NES. Lightning in a video game is always so disappointing after seeing Panic. I agree. Wahaha! Let the break a spine take the strain. Oh my god. Can I actually do anything? Okay. Well. This is interesting. I think that's Terry. Computer, will you hurry up and pick someone? Thank you. Oh god, it's so fast. That's Clark. Is the other guy with the hat Terry? This feels like one of the Mortal Kombat games that's on NES. Well, one of the ROM hacks that's Mortal Kombat on the NES. Back up. Nope. Get back here, you son of a bitch. Turbo mode. What? Dr. Mario. Black screen, Dr. Mario. Okay, no, this is just Dr. Mario. Yeah, that part where the pill segments are falling to the bottom, you can't speed that up. But there is a variation on Dr. Mario where you can. And that is the one on WarioWare on Game Boy Advance, called Dr. Wario, oddly enough. Okay, it doesn't like me resetting on that one. think that's really it that I would actually know. Also, I thought this said 12 in 1. Oh no. Is this just Battle City again? Yes. Donald Magic. Is this just Battle City again? No, it's Burger Time. Of course it's Burger Time. Well, I'm dead. Facemaker, Dr. PC Jr. Chinese. How about Duck? This is Duck, all right. I don't actually know if this is a ROM hack. I think Duck is just its own thing. But the screen is not scrolling in the right place. Like, I should not be walking around in the wall here. I've got a version of that game that actually works more properly. GK 47 in 1? I think we've seen this exact one before. One no-clip duck is better than 2 of something else. Jewelry multi-cart. J. E. W. E. L. R. Y. Oh, it's just a game. HIK 7 in 1. Sonic 5. Hey, Chippendale 2. Oh boy. Well. Oh, these are bumpers. And I'm dead. Yeah, I have a feeling that Sonic on the NES has been done better than that. It's also partially because I'm shit at Sonic video games. Except for Sonic Advance 2 on the GBA. For whatever reason, I was pretty good at that one. It's actually Adventure Island 3? It seems like it. Yep, I don't have Mario boots. I'm actually interested to see if this is Chippendale 2. Ready to play Chippendale 2. Yep, that's Chippendale 2. Every once in a while, you'll get one of these rare games, these rare expensive games on these multi-game carts. You've told me about Super Adventure Island in the past. I've got it. It's in my main SNES ROMs folder, but I haven't played through it yet. But you've definitely told me about it in the past. It's this game! I was wondering if this was gonna be what it was, because it's called Three Eyes Boy. Yeah, the Adventure Island games I actually want to play are Super Adventure Island 2, like you've mentioned, and then Adventure Island 4 on the NES. Our race time races were finally recorded. Holy shit. So much time after the fact. We got King of Fighters 96 and 99. Mario Family 10 and 1. Oh boy. Well, this just seems like Lost Levels. This is just Lost Levels. Except I can't get up there to hit the thing. It's just there's something very wrong with the graphics here. Mario-kun, Mr. Mario. This is Adventure Island. This is not Adventure Island, this is Moai-kun. Oh my god. Moai-kun is actually a pretty cool little game. Having it covered with Mario stuff makes it really confusing. Makes me question what I can and cannot jump on. Mind Blower Pack. Well, it's got Arctic Adventure. Maybe. I don't remember that being how Arctic Adventure started up. The penguin and seal? Is that supposed to be an ampersand? Oh god, what is this? This is not Arctic Adventure. This is some weird block pushing game. That is not Arctic Adventure. These must just be original games by whatever company that is. Oh boy, nothing says fun like an abacus. For amusement only. All of a sudden, I haven't touched anything on the controller. And all of a sudden, this math adventure quiz game or whatever has turned into a slot machine. Okay. Yeah, math quiz. It just all of a sudden turned into a slot machine, which is what you think Jackpot would be. It is what Jackpot is. It just bumped me out of one game and loaded up the other. You don't want to play Math Quiz, you want to play the slot machine. Galactic Crusader. Oh god. I have no auto fire. Thankfully, I have an auto fire button on my controller. Ooh. Got different beams. think I got hit. So I was flashing. Okay, well, that's not complete garbage. Yeah, these Mortal Kombat games. This is the bullshit I was talking about earlier. Mortal Kombat V 1996 Turbo 30 Peoples. I see at least 3, if not 4, of each of these characters. This is Flash instead of Raiden. Alright, it's not out of control fast. It's just out of control bad. Mortal Kombat 3 Special 56 Peoples. There's a title screen for you. I don't know what these buttons do. Oh boy. So I have red, yellow, and green versions of a limited number of characters. Will be Green Kung Lao. The colors are actually pretty good. It's a little surprising. I found a strat. He can't beat me. Pikachu Y2K. And it doesn't work. Pipe Black. Or is that Pipe Block? It's probably Pipe Blocked. Reset based 4-in-1. What if I reset it? Okay. It's not literal. Rules to driving the car. Russian. Oh my god, it works. Oh boy, I can't read Cyrillic. Okay. It's a driving test on the video game system, and I can't read it. Rumble Station 15-in-1. This is a title screen. Look at all those stars in the background. There's Galactic Crusader again. Trying to see if I recognize any of these. So far, no. A Challenge of the Dragon. Oh. Am I hitting him? Looks like I'm hitting him. I jumped in the hole. I guess that's what you're supposed to do? I have no idea. Sonic 3D Blast 5. This looks exactly like the Sonic game I saw earlier. This is exactly the same Sonic game as the one we saw earlier. What about the next one? Next one doesn't work. Street Fighter 2 Pro. Okay. These are actual Street Fighter characters. Start is not what I need. Also, I need to quit messing around. I need to get some manner of Super Metroid loaded up. I'm not even in the race channel. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna keep those ROMs around. Like, on one hand, I could use the space for more Super Metroid stuff, but on the other hand, it doesn't really take up that much room. 'Cause all those files are really small. Let's be Sonic. I forget if I was Sonic or Knuckles recently. Might have been Tails, I don't know. Race time, food for the soul. See, the funny thing is, a lot of those fighting games, like the Mortal Kombat game and I'm assuming the Street Fighter game, they feel more like the Game Boy version of the game than what an NES one would feel like. That's because NES didn't have Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or King of Fighters. So all that shit came out after Super Nintendo was pretty much done. NES was not particularly known for having fighting games. In fact, like the one NES fighting game I can think of didn't even come out in America. And I can't even remember the name of it. It was the one where you played as these goofy robots. Also, I'm not sold on this Mountain Dew colored Sonic. Anyways, I will be right back. I'm suddenly Knuckles. Alright. Make sure that the request line is refreshed. Every once in a while, with those multi-game ROMs, those 20-in-1 ROMs, every once in a while, like with Chip 'n Dale 2, you will get a good playable version of a relatively rare and expensive NES game. Like I've seen one of those multi-game carts that has Mighty Final Fight. And Mighty Final Fight was not an easy game to get a hold of, as it came out so late in the NES's life cycle. Welcome to Finger Guns country. That's right. Cuphead and Sonic. Two of the better finger gun characters. But yeah, a lot of the time, those multi-game carts are just like we saw with the Contra one. It's okay, you're starting off, but you've got this gun equipped. Or we're starting off, but you've got this gun equipped. And with Battle City, it'd be like, okay, you are playing Battle City, but now you're starting on this level. So really the interesting thing to me about those carts is just what games are actually on there. But a lot of the times, like we saw, it's just the same, like, 8 games. But it's just, you start with different power-ups, or you start on a different level. Or it's like a graphical ROM hack. Like, Super Mario 14 on the NES. I think that was the number it had. Where it's just like, it's a re-skinned version of Kid Nicky 3. Which I have been kind of scared to play on stream because it has enemies in the second level that look like babies that are just shooting pee at you. All the good lucks, all the have funs. Have to get ready to actually play a video game again. Some of the like Mario multi-game carts are really funny. Because you do get like a bunch of different games, but they've all been reskinned to have Mario's face on them. Here we go. Race will begin. In 3, 2, 1, go! Sonic. Fun good, have luck. Thank you, Firebat. Same to you. $44. I knew it. I knew one day I would get a 44 again. Firebat's just letting me have series tonight. I was about to say, Nintoaster got a 44-14. Still, man. That is my first 44 in series in a long time. It's like, I'm always screwing something up in that back and forth room. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something tricky about that room. I think it's just the Steam playing mind games with me. Actually, I'm trying to think if I've seen any multi-game carts that were for the Super Nintendo. Really seems like that was an NES era thing. And mostly coming out of like China and Russia. Fight. There we go. Trying to think if I actually own a copy of Flip Pole, and it's just one of the Japanese games that I don't have in a cart right now. But I don't think so. I believe I'm thinking of a Game Boy game that is not really anything like Flip Pole, but I found out about it around the same time, and it's another kind of oddball puzzle game. The game I'm thinking of got a Western release, I'm pretty sure. I think it's more that I was just going through a list of ROMs and I found a game, and I was just like, oh hey, this is neat. Oop. Get me. Got him! Nice. I am now Knuckles. Thank you. Always feels good when a strat plays out the way it's supposed to. Oh. Nice hat. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, here we go. One of the few video games that I bought specifically for its music. It's a shame it doesn't have a sound select on its options screen. It's kind of why I want... Well, actually, that is the reason why I want a copy of Biker Mice from Mars. 'Cause there's a lot of good music in that game that I had no idea about until like just a year or two ago. Why, I kind of wish that Rainwave had a second chiptune channel that would be for like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis era games. Because while a bunch of those songs are featured on the game channel, they also have like a bunch of orchestral pieces that were on PS1 games and from systems beyond that. Either that or I just need to make for myself a second version of the Rainwave widget that I've already got and just set it to game instead of chiptune. Get in there. Whoop. Well, I tell you, what multi-game cart I'd like to find a version of, even though I don't think it actually exists, would be one that has all of the Kunio-kun games from the NES, all the River City games, as it were. It's like all the games that had that character design. It's like Super Dodgeball. Is it Tecmo World Cup? Obviously River City Ransom, Crash and the Boys. But there were a couple of Japanese ones that we didn't get. Like, there was a basketball game that we didn't get. There was like a track and field game where you're just like running through the streets and like through people's apartments and stuff. And that one was a lot of fun. But the best one that I found was the hockey game. It's like EK something something. But I remember that was the first part of the title. But yeah, it's, you know, Super Dodgeball except with hockey. And it's a lot of fun. There was also another one that was a lot like River City Ransom, except it was like the kids of the high school were putting on a play. And so like everyone was dressed like they were in feudal Japan. But it was still like a beat 'em up like River City Ransom. And then there was another one that was just like a straight up fighting tournament game. I'm pretty sure I've got all of those games on my SD card here, but it'd be neat if I could have them all on a single cart, or at least all on a single ROM. But since I am a caveman when it comes to technology, all I really get to say is, boy, wouldn't that be neat. Still think my... Oh, hey, best crabs. Both times tonight. Still think my favorite boy wouldn't that be neat idea would be having a character select in Super Metroid. That's up, Sonic. There you go. Okay. There we go. Actually, another really neat idea would be is if I could somehow get a cart or at least a ROM for Super Mario crossover. That might get me in trouble with Nintendo. Especially if I was public about it. Come on. Fuck. Of course I hit a flame. Of course I hit a flame. Got him. Oh. Crunchy. Get back out here, you jerk. You just hit him with a big boy shot. Yep. Oh boy. Saved that one. Go up, dummy. Wall jump, you idiot! Oh. The key hunter was lower than he normally is. I'm blaming him for this. And here we go. Still one of my favorite Adult Swim early morning surprise shorts. And I must have forgotten what room I was entering. But it's fine. It's all worked out in the end. In the battle against broth, you can never have too many cooks. Adult Swim was just a bunch of goofballs that had been given a chunk of time late at night to do pretty much whatever they wanted. I'm just glad that they didn't always use their powers for evil. And by that I mean showing anime that I didn't care about. They did that every once in a while. But I was a big time sucker for a lot of those early Adult Swim shows. I mean, since I was a big fan of Cartoon Planet and Space Ghost Coast to Coast, I basically fell in love with the Brack show right after night one. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing. They gave Brack his own show. A bunch of the other shows definitely took them a while to find their rhythm. Especially Harvey Birdman. First season of Harvey Birdman was not really that good, in my opinion. They didn't really hit their stride until at least season 2, if not 3. But by that point, it also just got really fucking weird. That's what my sense of humor was when I was that age. C-Lab 2021, it only took them like a couple episodes to find their rhythm. Like that ended up being a really, really good show for like the majority of its run. It was only like that last season that they did where it really kind of fell off. But that's because the guy that did the voice of Captain Murphy died. And then they killed off his character on the show. A bunch of the other ones were just a little bit too bizarre. I don't remember the name of that one that I'm thinking of. I thought it was just like Xavier. Or Xavier something something. Where it was like intentionally bad CG. I remember kind of liking, was it Saul and the Mole Man? Thought, well, this is a neat concept, but I never watched enough of it to know where it was going. Now I'm waiting to mention my favorite. Till after I fight the Noodle Dragon here. And it's not Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Another show that took at least like a season to find its footing. Nah, the one for me that hit it out of the park had to be 12 Ounce Mouse. And that was before I realized that every episode of the show was like connected. And then once I found out that they had a DVD for 12 Ounce Mouse, where it had all of the episodes connected and played it out like a movie, I snatched that shit right up. However, I get the feeling that 12 Ounce Mouse is a show that didn't connect with a whole lot of people. The final episode of 12 Ounce Mouse, where you actually get to see a little bit of what's actually going on, is very interesting. And the fact that they explain fucking nothing is kind of a bold choice. Oh my god, please stop swooping. My god. I think it was pretty much when Adult Swim started showing a bunch of stuff that I wasn't really into, and a bunch of reruns. I think that might have been around the time when I started finding episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000 online. And at that point, I had not seen like even half of their episodes. When you consider that show ran for 10 seasons originally, that's a lot of episodes, even if you've only seen half of them. I realized very quickly that the guys in Mystery Science Theater put themselves through some absolute shit watching some of those movies, where it's literally all talking until like the last 15 minutes of the movie. Then it's like 5 minutes of action and then 10 minutes of more talking. I might need to put together an unofficial tier list of my favorite episodes. Could at least do a top 10. Maybe not a tier list. That might take too long. Too long for my attention span, that is. But like a top 10 favorite MST 3K episodes, that would probably be pretty easy for me to do. Because, like, it really helps when they have a movie to comment on that isn't absolute garbage. When they're just looking at a movie that's just kinda bad, but still has redeeming qualities, then it's better. Because then you can, like, halfway get into the movie, as well as the jokes that the guys are making. That's why stuff like their newer venture, Riff Tracks, I think really works because I'm not going to sit here and say that the original Jurassic Park is a bad movie. But when you've got Mike from MST and Weird Al Yankovic doing jokes over top of it, it makes it even better. Or like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or The Matrix. It's not so much that these movies have it coming. It's just that I don't know the right way to phrase it. Because it's not that these movies are bad and deserve to be made fun of. But it's more like these movies need to be knocked down a peg or two, you know? Because inevitably, when they're watching some of the worst movies, they will just like stop making fun of the movie and just like start getting angry at the movie. That's funny every once in a while. But when the whole episode is based on that, then it gets a little grindy. And then they've covered some movies that are just so fucking bad that not even their jokes can save it. I'm down here, because I'm done. Do the thing again, Sonic, and do it right this time. There we go. Like, oh, during, I think it was season 9, which on average is like one of the best seasons they ever had in terms of quality. But the one movie they had was called Hobgoblins. Watching that episode was just god-awful. Because that movie is just so cringy and so bad. Really feels like some director was trying to get out of his contract by making that movie. I don't think I got it. I didn't. Great. Sparky Ball. None of those little hops turned into a spin jump. Okay. I didn't jump. Fuck, I didn't jump. Alright, you're dead. Whoa, that tail! That was going right up until he started falling apart. Tail sometimes has a mind of its own. It just starts flipping the fuck out. And that was one of those times. Okay. Buttons. There's Firebat taken first. The time of 49:37. GG. And there's Nintoaster taken second with a time of 50:14. GG. Oh baby, Mega Man 2 Game Boy. There we go. Got her. Got Timmy. $55, $56 is a dot time. Not bad. Poke poke, 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 poke poke. Oh my god, aim down and shoot, you fucking moron. That's a Treasure Master music. Without looking at either my widget or my Rainwave window. Treasure Master is such a bizarre little game. Now, I don't think I've checked the Wikipedia article, but I'm pretty sure that would be where they would have any information on whoever won the contest. Done. 58-11. GG. And we got third place. Ah! Oh boy. And we can just be done in Hex chat for right now. Oh man, we did it. Look at that printed artwork team go. GG. Oh boy. Clear the rest of my Rainwave request line. Oh god, no. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Thanks for playing. Fear Force! See you next mission. We did it. Alright, well, I did lose some points here tonight, so I'm no longer ahead of Zost on the leaderboard, but I am still in the green. But I have a feeling that's going to change again sometime soon, because, well, Zost doesn't race here anymore. Alright. So that wraps things up for me here tonight. Because we did, in fact, did it. Big thank you to Ponk for hanging out tonight. We finished up Stardew Valley. We got the perfection achievement. So, next week we're going to be starting up a new playthrough where we're going to be cooperating with the Joja company. The quote-unquote evil playthrough. So that should be a lot of fun. Especially since I'm just going to be playing Journey of the Prairie King the whole time. Yeah, I figured with points that I still would have been ahead of him after the 11 or after the 9, but I do 2 races on Friday nights, so can't get too caught up about mid-race night point totals, and probably shouldn't get too caught up about them at any point, because they're magical mystery internet points. And only an elite cabal of internet wizards know how they actually work. And of course, a big thank you to Insane Firebat and to Nintoaster for hanging out tonight with some Super Metroid. Always a lot of fun. And for everybody else, thanks for stopping by, thanks for hanging out, thanks for watching, hope you have a good night, and I will catch you next time. See ya!